Pre-monsoon rains on Friday brought much relief to the national capital from the scorching heat wave, but it also added to the woes of the people. Highest June day rainfall in about 88 years left 5 people dead and a flood of woes, bringing the national capital to a standstill. 24 hours of rain saw waterlogging at various places, so much so that dozens of surgeries had to be stalled and emergency admissions were affected at India's premier AIIMS hospital. Now, the hospital's departments and operation theatres were inundated by rainwater due to the heavy downpour that took place on Friday. Services in the operation theatres of the Neurosciences Centre of AIIMS were affected as operation theatres became absolutely non-functional. What we're picking up at this point in time is that operation theatres have now, after about 24 hours, become functional. Of course, operations and surgeries had to be prioritized. Those with stable conditions and not traumatic experiences had to be shifted or postponed. 9 operation theatres of the Trauma Center and Cardio Neurosciences Center, the CNC, where the critically ill patients are admitted, had to be shut as water seeped in through walls and accumulated on the ground. But the problem for people outside the hospitals wasn't any less. People with the luggage, like the lady you can see on your screens, with all the luggage on top of her head, having to wade through knee-deep water. Complete big, huge trucks and carriers that were left inundated, let alone small cars that you see on your screens now. Now, let's focusing again on the hospital bit. The hospital, it also faced power cut like most parts of the national capital, and electricity supply was restored only after 4 p.m. because there was a big fear and scare of electrocution as well. Meanwhile, the hospital issued an order asking patients coming to the emergency requiring surgeries to be referred to Safdarjung or other government hospitals. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, the roundabout that is commonly known as the AIIMS roundabout in the national capital, right in the heart of the national capital. A major connecting link connects South Extension to Chanakyapuri, another hotline that travels across the national capital. Trucks, cars, vehicles, two-wheelers, e-rickshaws, transportation coming to a complete halt. Remember a lot of parliamentarians in Lutyens, Delhi, tweeting early out in the morning that they won't be able to make it to the parliament premises sans a boat. That was the ordeal for many people who went about their normal days and lives only to be met with bashing thunderstorms and battering rains. 5 people that have died, several trees that were left uprooted, power supplies were cut across the national capital, in several parts owing to fears of electrocution, like I mentioned, and hospitals took a major hit. AIIMS, one of the premier institutions of neuroscience surgeries, came to a standstill. The operation theatres became non-functional. However, the latest that we're picking up is that now the trauma center in AIIMS, it has again resumed its operations. The OTs, the operation theatres, have again started functioning. Some of those more visuals of inside the AIIMS complex. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Operation theatres left completely inundated. Many of those surgeries that were supposed to be pushed and postponed. The rain havoc and the flood of woes for the people of the national capital. Now, one operation theatre ever since has started functioning at AIIMS Trauma Center. Electrical and civil staff, they are doing the rounds, trying to figure out what's the best way and what's the most safest way. Because water is a great conductor of electricity, don't we all know? As soon as we get clearance from the electrical and the civil staff that is currently doing rounds, the hospital will come back to full functioning. The second operation theatre is also being worked upon at this point in time. There was also frozen water, mind you, in one of the trauma centers, which has now been drained out.